Good afternoon, this is Mike Palmer from Mike Palmer Homes. Just wanted to make a quick video showing driveway prep. We're about ready to pour this driveway. They were going to pour it this morning if the weather held out. We had a nice rainstorm this morning. It's all dried up, but we weren't able to pour today, so I can get this video. So I'm going to go over the different things we do when we prep and pour a driveway. Number one, before we do this, when we're estimating a house, I make a drawing of a driveway and a sidewalk, and I estimate how many square feet that the people are going to pour. But once we get the house up and they have an actual house to look at, it becomes a little different because sometimes the situation changes. Like these folks they realize they're going to have more cars here than they thought. So they added some concrete over there to the right where they're going to have a turnaround. So that's the one thing you have to be aware of building a custom home, because no matter how much concrete you pour, it's never quite enough. So you want to make sure you save some money in your budget for that in case you want to enlarge it once we get to this stage. Because when it's on paper, you don't know exactly how it's going to look. So several things we look for in a driveway. Well, now this is not prepped in the front. Okay, what we're going to do is cut that asphalt in a nice straight line, put a form board there so we have a nice straight line. I don't like when concrete is poured right up against jagged asphalt. It tends to get cracked and it doesn't look nearly as good. These are called horns. We call these horns, or where the driveway flares out and they just put like a curve on there. There's a UPS truck. I want to get run over. Okay, and they've got a gravel base and it's all been compacted. See where it's compacted nicely up there. Sometimes we have to bring in fill, sometimes we have to take it out. See this PVC pipe that goes right under here? It's taped off at the end. We bury that. We put a little tiny circle on the concrete, on the edging, so that you can see where this is. But if you ever want to run a dog fence, landscape lights, or need to get electrical across the driveway, well, you've already got a tube, and sometimes a cable, people can run a cable under there. So that's already in there. You don't have to cut and dig up driveway. It seems like every time I do a video, somebody's running a lawn tractor or something around here. Now with the driveway, you see this is nice and straight. That's my favorite way to do it. There's some really decorative driveways that curve, but for backing out and coming in for functionality, a straight driveway is much more convenient to live with, because when you have curved driveways, you always tend to drive off and you get that big muddy rut. Anyway, here they brought in some gravel here. You see how it's all nice and compacted, ready to pour, and they put a steel mesh in here. They put a steel grid, we called it welded wire fabric, so that if the concrete were ever to buckle or move, you know, it would just have a surface crack. It wouldn't shift upwards. And all kinds of things can happen in the life of a driveway. You see these nice curves, they're called radiuses. This is a PVC product they use to get that nice curve in there, because the wood, you can bend it a little. See, like they've got curves up on the horns with a 2x4, but for the sharper curves, this works a whole lot better. Now, another thing that's really important with concrete is the depth. And I've seen guys that skimp on the thickness of the concrete to save money. And you'll see that a few years later when you have all kinds of cracks. So I really like these contractors because I know they don't skimp. They've worked with us they worked with us for a number of years and always done a great job. Now, here, this is, people enlarge this turnaround. When you pull into a courtyard garage this way, you want to be able to back out, pull that way, or pull up or pull up this way and back in. A driveway has to work. You know, you don't want a house with a bad driveway. So that's something to, you know, especially when you're doing a custom house and you're incurring additional costs as you move on through the project, you want to make sure you have enough to get the driveway that you want. Now, you see our gutters, our concrete people dig underneath, put that nice Schedule 40 PVC pipe underneath the sidewalk so that when the rain comes, you won't be washing all your mulch and your flower out of your flower beds. That nice tight radius there, you're going to have a nice curve, a nice sidewalk. This all has to be pitched the right way too. You want to make sure the drainage, where the water flows, is very important. Now for these gutters here, they've got two pipes right here underneath. So you can run that water, you can run the gutter drain right underneath, right through those pipes, and there's a third PVC pipe there in case you want any kind of landscape lighting, dog fences, etc., sprinkler systems and whatnot. And that goes, the height is prepared for our stairs there. Now this is a multi-generational home as well, because you're going to have the married couple lives in here. Here's a garage in between them, and Over here is where mom and dad are going to have their casita, a smaller second generation quarters. Now, in the back, let's go take a look at the concrete we're doing there. Now, we typically, while we're pouring the garage, while you got trucks here, we pour the patio, because the patio is a smaller job. So if you have to set all that up to just pour the patio, it's not nearly as efficient or cost effective. So we can do it all at once while we have the crews here. So, this is the patio. Let's go up here. Well, there's one porch for the married couple and one porch here for mom and dad. We'll have a video on this whole house. It's a really cool house. I like building multi-generational. That's your patio. You see it's a really cool shape there. Now, let's go take a look at the way the drainage and the earth. They wanted a very flat patio. They didn't want a lot of pitch to it. So with the grading, you know, we built up the earth over here, compacted it, and then, but we didn't want to bring that up any higher than we had to, so we built a curb over here, and you see how that's formed. That's all going to be filled with concrete. So you're going to have a curb here to hold that, to retain that dirt's higher than the slab, and you know, you can put a planting or flower bed, but also we'll direct the water around here, around this way. This is going to be your patio area. They have a nice round radius for a circular shape. It's going to be for the table and chairs. And over here is going to be the hot tub. Now, what's interesting about the hot tub, you see you've got this channel around here, and it's off the side of the house. Now, I know it looks kind of muddy. This is all going to be cleaned up and beautiful when it's done. We're going to have the protectors off the stairs. But anyway, construction sites, especially when it just rained, you know, they do get a little dirty during the process, but we're going to fill this full of pea gravel. Okay, so when any splashes over top of the hot tub, it can run right off in the pea gravel and almost work like a French drain, like a drainage field. And the gutter comes down, that runs through here, and we have a PVC pipe come out there. So we like the nice Schedule 40 PVC pipe, because if there's ever a clog or anything, you know, you can put a tool up there. Those black corrugated ones, I've put them on my house, and they tend to, sometimes they can crush later on. This is much sturdier. Put it under concrete, you can drive cars over it and everything, and it holds up a whole lot better. So anyway, that's what we got going on concrete-wise with this home. If you see anything of value, you like what we see here, please hit the like button, and if you hit the subscribe button and the notification, you can be notified when we bring out more videos.